We're back for another Killing WCW.
Oh, we got a treat for you tonight.
I think it's only fitting we watch this after a very interesting finding of a TNA spoiler that might lead to a Killing TNA series. But we'll
Yeah,
save
we
that
may
for
be
another
talking about
discussion.
that by this point next year.
Yeah, but we'll save that for another discussion because let's just say the tones of what's going on in TNA mimic the tones of what we'll be talking about tonight. Let's start
I have
off.
that same. It's the same feeling in the pit of my stomach, and it's not a good one. I'll tell you that right now. You never want to see a company die.
In a pay-per-view that witnessed 10 matches on a pay-per-view card, which I guess is fairly
I mean,
good, right? Yeah.
tens at main. The thing is tens at Mania. They usually have like 6, 7
Yeah, especially because this
anymore.
was what roughly 3 hours, where those were like four
Yeah.
hour ordeals. So we start off Chris Candido, yeah, for the second most worthless title in WCW at the point, with Tammy, who will strip, but not all the way because, let's be honest, they're trying to appeal more to the kiddos. Defeated the
Yeah.
Artist with a girl named Paisley for the Cruiserweight title. He's still champ. The title means nothing. That was the opener of the show.
That like you use you it's good booking a cruiserweight match first because it's supposed to get the crowd going,
But there
high
was no
paced,
hype.
quick in
There
action.
was no
Yeah,
high paced
this
action.
is two cruiserweights who weren't big flyers.
Yeah, it
It was
was the
guys
anti
who
cruiserweights.
were more of the other side of the cruiserweight division, the Dean Malenko
Um,
side of the cruiserweight division, more of a technical wrestlers.
Most definitely. Then after that, we saw they showcased what happened Wednesday on Thunder or Thursday on Thunder. One of the 2 days. They flip flop days, I think, on us. Basically, all you
Yeah.
know is that who was it? Someone won a Rumble. Um, was it Flair?
It was Flair. Flair
Yeah,
won it was a rumble between all the New Blood and all the Millionaires Club, and the
yeah.
winner would get the what they said main event at the next pay per view, which is Great American Bash for the world title.
Which okay, I guess we can't watch Thunder on the network still, so we just have to go off of what the spoilers in 17 years ago, and what the spoilers of what they showed on their following show, if it was important at all. But yeah, that happened. After that, the second match was Terry Funk and Norman Smiley again. Um, but Norman Smiley had help with a guy named Ralphus, who, if you don't remember him, let me pull him up real quick. You might remember him as another name. Uh,
No, he was Ralphus. He was Ralphus,
but there's
but
another name they called him.
when
Well, he was the assistant. He was
I
the
was gonna
valet
say,
for Chris Jericho.
yeah,
But I think he had
yeah,
another name though.
no, he used the name Ralphus, but it was the guy that Chris Jericho used as his bodyguard. He used him a lot during his which was, I guess, a little bit of both kayfabe, non kayfabe, trash talk feud with Goldberg. He was the guy that would knock on the door and lead him to the ring, similar to what Doug Dillinger did with the real Goldberg in WCW.
So he was a truck driver for WCW, by the way.
Yeah, like so.
Wow,
This
they were
is literally
cheaping
just a guy.
out.
They were just like, "Hey, you want a job? You look kind of greasy and weird."
Yeah. You got to see his just a-hole, just full on.
Yeah.
This was a hardcore match for the hardcore championship. That
Yeah.
lasted 10 minutes. That, I will say, was
That
longer than the
involved
next two matches.
Norman Smiley dressed in catcher's gear, or he was dressed in some kind of sports gear.
He's always dressed in like catcher's gear usually.
Like he was dressed in some kind of sports
And
gear.
Ralphus was dressed
It
in
involved
the umpire
Ralphus
gear or
was
something.
dressed as he had the mask on. That he actually got revealed as Ralphus.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. By the way, this match that Terry Funk won, by the way, even though Ralphus helped Norman Smiley to lose,
Yeah. Grandpa
was
Funk.
was longer than the most important feud aside from the world title, I guess, maybe even Hogan, in my opinion, which was a good developing feud. I will say that. Okay, the Sting and Vampiro match was the shortest match. This match was longer than that. This match was longer than Douglas and Flair, a match that we've been begging to see for years.
Like
You
that,
know, up
at
until
that
this
point, like it
2000
was
point.
literally boom. We wanted that match. That was it.
Yeah. But Funk and Norman Smiley got to last longer just for the simple fact that they wasted a lot of time because the match started off really gimmicky, of course. Where you at, Smiley? I'm old Terry Funk, 56. I'm uptown Terry Funk. Yeah, so, not want to talk about that too much. On to Sean Stasiak, the perfect Sean, taking on Kurt Hennig. Wow, this was a much better match than the previous two, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Sean Stasiak getting the win. Kurt Hennig a little bitter about Stasiak beating his perfect free throw record. What did you think about that one?
I like it. Again, this is one of the few things WCW tried to do right.
Yes, I would say
By,
that.
hey, you know what? We got a guy who probably at that point, because at that point, I think Henning ended up actually dying within the next like 3 years after this. 3 to 4 years after this. So at that point, it's like, okay, a guy who doesn't have much left to give to the industry.
Yep, 3
And there's
years
a guy,
after.
okay, we can build this guy who his dad, Stan the Man Stasiak, was a big time player back in the Vince McMahon senior days.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the attempt to build a name, which can't fault that. That's one of the few things WCW. This is one of the few things you'll ever hear me say WCW did right.
Was
Build people like
rebuilding
Sean
era.
Stasiak.
All right, on to the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship match. Hugh Morris comes out, cuts a promo, says, "You will not call me Hugh Morris anymore. My name will be Captain Rection." Would you like to tell the audience, Mullins, what his full name is now?
His name is now Hugh G. Rection.
He faced Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner had Medea and Shakira up. Whatever.
Yeah.
He had them. He won the match. That's all you gotta know. Sad for Steiner to have a lame match on the pay-per-view. Whatever.
All the Misfits came out. And then all the Misfits ended up coming out, and then
they got beat up
New
by
Blood
New
Security
Bloods, yeah.
came out and beat them up.
Yeah, freaking.
And then
What's his
Booker
name?
T came out.
What's his name? Not Christopher Daniels. Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, Frankie Kazarian was part of New Blood Security.
New Blood Security. Yeah,
New Blood Security. Frankie Kazarian, a young Frankie.
Yeah, he got to beat up the Misfits. Lash LaRoe, Chavo, and who else? Someone else.
Chavo, who was it? Van Hammer.
Van Hammer, yes. After that, we saw Mike Awesome and Chris Kanyon. No contest. Pretty much this match, which was the third longest match on the card, by the way, timestamp. This match is really going to matter towards the main event. It's not going to matter right now. This is just, they don't want both guys to lose. I can understand that. So, yep, that's about that. Next up, the total package. Lex Luger surprisingly beats Buff Bagwell. Wow, I didn't think Luger was going to win. But I guess we know why.
Especially because at this point, because it was all bad guys. Other than the Funk thing, it was all bad guys.
I guess we'll tie this in with the next thing. Douglas beats Flair. So I guess
we got another thing. Nothing besides that.
Well,
You're missing a few of the mid stuff, like after the match.
Oh yeah, Chuck Palumbo came there and attacked
debuts on WCW television.
Yeah,
and he's all decked out in the same stuff
as the total package. Yeah, he's wearing the same gear. So basically, Sean Stasiak's trying to be like Kurt Hennig. Chuck Palumbo's trying to be like the total package. But to tie in those two matches, one guy has to win and one guy has to lose. I like to flip-flop that because there's no tag team title match. This was just a singles bout for both. So yeah, Shane Douglas beat Flair because, and I will quote, the greatest man of all time to ever live, Besides Pat
Yes,
Patterson, of course.
of course.
David Flair. David freaking Flair. David
David
motherfucking Flair.
Flair. I've been
David
waiting for this.
flippity
I've been
dippity doo
waiting.
censored Flair.
We're
Alright?
gonna get a lot of David Flair centric nitros now.
Yes, I'm so excited to see David Flair taking off the Sting mask, hitting his daddy with a baseball bat for
With
Shane Douglas to get the win. Think about that. People were like,
he,
that's not Vince Russo, that's Vince Russo. And then revealed it wasn't. And people were
yeah,
like,
he's like,
David,
Russo, get back
it's
here.
David. This is definitely one of the more better things, in my opinion. I wasn't a big fan of him a part of Crowbar
And
and
Daphne.
Daphne. I wasn't a big fan of him with
Well,
that.
because the thing is they're weird people. David, I don't see him as a weird individual. I
No,
mean,
he's the son of
wait,
Ric Flair, which is how
yeah,
he
like
should have been built, which I think that's what
you
tainted him.
don't book somebody like a weirdo when they're the son of Ric Flair.
Exactly. Maybe it was just out of spite. Who knows? It, in my opinion, ruined the entire career of David Flair, where I believe that man potentially could have had a much better career.
17-time world champion.
Maybe not that much. He was a decent wrestler, in a time where
I
wrestling
think
wasn't great.
I think he could have been a big name. Like he could
Yeah.
have really been a big
Yeah.
name.
He was good for story purposes, which is what this time period's really all about.
Yeah, like
So,
it helps to have somebody who is in a bigger name's family that can actually go in the ring, which was what David was.
yes. After that, we see Sting defeat Vampiro in something where I honestly think Vampiro should have won. Given the build for Vampiro was ridiculously strong. Sting was strong too, though, but I think Vampiro, should have won this one. I think this would have meant a lot for Vampiro's career. But everybody has an opinion. This was the shortest match, so
This
it
is
was
probably
it was
not
squash.
this was probably not the blow off of the feud though.
Yeah, I definitely hope we'll see more. We
I
have
mean,
Hulk
because the
Hogan.
thing is there's nothing else for either of them to do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, who are they going to put him with? Besides the whole
Exactly, like
new blood.
they already have the whole hey we got paint and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
They're already like kayfabe or whatever you want to say brothers.
Next up, we have Hulk Hogan with Horace Hogan defeating Billy Kidman and Tori Wilson.
Speaking of family,
Because Eric Bischoff was a special guest referee. However, we ain't having none of that special guest referee crap when Horace Hogan can just count the pin himself.
yeah, because that's what WCW allows.
Hogan wins, LOL. Billy Kidman, sorry about your career, kiddo. Get on the back of the line. This is Terry flippin' Bollea's show. It's numb. You figure, no. Did I say that right?
What?
Wait, no. Fum. Yeah, fum. I don't know why I said numb. It's fum.
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 FUNB.
Yeah, fum.
NB stands for New Blood. I'll let you decide what the FU
You figure
stands
out
for.
what the rest stands for. Main event time in the Ready to Rumble cage match from the movie.
Yeah, from the movie that was horrible, by the way.
This
Just throwing that out
this was actually decent. The ending, of course, was like, why is
The
David
ending
Arquette even involved?
the ending
But
might have caused a lot of things down the line, even in history today. Like if you see something today, it may have been caused by the ending of this pay-per-view.
I guess you could easily predict David Arquette was turning heel when he comes out wearing all red.
Well, the thing was I feel like this was almost like why? Because the fact that like at this point now you got a trend. You have you had Kimberly turn on him at Spring Stampede.
Yeah.
You had now the very next month you have his
David
celebrity
Arquette,
buddy David Arquette turn on him.
So the next prediction is, will Canyon turn on Paige? Even though Canyon saved Paige from Mike Awesome, so they fought.
Yeah, but,
however, Mike Awesome nearly flipping
Canyon
killed
didn't save
Canyon.
himself. Canyon didn't save himself.
Canyon nearly died. All right,
Canyon almost died on pay-per-view. Like I don't know how this because I think it was from the second cage.
It was from the second cage. That's the other thing. It wasn't the first
Yeah.
cage.
It wasn't that
You
first
know?
like the Hell in a Cell style. No,
Yeah,
this was even higher than Mick
yeah.
Foley got
There
thrown
were
off of.
3 cages, by the way. One was normal. Second one was filled with chairs and tables. I don't know who thought we
Third
could
one
put a
was filled
table
with
here.
guitars.
Guitar. I don't know why the guitars for the third one, and whatever. Just because Jeff Jarrett. And then
Jeff
very
Jarrett.
on top was the belt, and David Arquette had to guard the belt, not grab it. However, David Arquette said, "You know what? I'm gonna hit you, DDP. Jeff Jarrett, take the belt." When in all reality, David Arquette probably deep down inside wanted to just grab that belt again.
Yeah,
But
David Arquette just wanted to be the champion again, 2-time champ.
so within the course of a month from this pay per view, we have witnessed Jeff Jarrett become champ, lose it to DDP, then within that same week lose it to David Arquette, then within the following week lose it to DDP, who would then lose it to Jeff Jarrett. These belts mean nothing, and I think
The thing
we'll end it.
is all the other belts
What's that?
mean more than the world title at this point right here. And from here, it's like I said, we when we got into this series, we knew where it was going. We knew it
Yeah.
wasn't going to be, hey, we're going to be watching some great stuff.
We don't. We. The best part is, though, I'll say this: it's unique, and we don't know what we're getting. However, it's not
Like it's one of
uniquely
those things.
good.
Every week you wonder what, like you literally. It's bringing me back to that idea of you literally wondered every week what you were gonna get because you really didn't know. Like, and it wasn't like a, hey, I don't know, I'm excited, this is gonna be good. It's a, I don't know what's gonna happen. This is kind of scary.
Exactly for the fate of the company. But do you have anything to end it off on? I think I kind of said
Uh,
mine with the belts
like
and
I
nothing.
said,
So.
it like you said, the belt right now it's being passed around like a hot potato. Every other belt's basically stayed in the same people have held the same belts since they won them at Spring Stampede. The same I believe everyone else is still the champion that they were. You have Candido's still champion. You have Douglas and Bagwell are still the tag champs. You have Terry Funk is still the hardcore champion. Steiner's still the U.S. champ. Yeah, all the other champions are still there. And this title, which is supposed to be at this point in the whole, like in 2000, we're not talking 2017 where we're sitting right now. We're talking 2000. This is potentially supposed to be the number 2 title in the world. And it has the distinction of saying the man that made his career playing a cop in a bad, scary movie and saying 1-800 call ATT held this belt. Like, just think on that. And I think that's where we can close it out here tonight. We will get back to you. Obviously, we have another Nitro. Obviously, going to
We
be
have a lot more to go.
it's going to be
So.
the aftermath of this pay per view. We got lots more Nitros to go,
Yeah.
and we hope you are enjoying. And we hope. Please let us know down below your opinions on this time in wrestling. We've given you a lot of our opinions. Please let us know yours. Smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We got plenty of other great content aboard. Hope to see you around. Have a great night.